Blog Talk Radio.
Well, here we go. It's Tuesday. Coronavirus, it might have a grip on the world. They don't have a grip on the American Sports History Podcast, hosted by my good friend Peter Ray, 347-205-9631. You can email mancinisports@yahoo.com. Mark Mancini in the background. Without further ado, let me give him the podium, the mic, the red carpet. First of all, Peter, how are you? Second of all, how can people get a hold of you?
Oh, hi, Mark. I'm fine. I have a YouTube channel. It's my name, Peter J. Ray, R-E-A, and folks can go to that channel. I've made, in the Cleveland baseball playlist, I've made 169 baseball videos for every year in Cleveland baseball history from 1869 to 2019, including the 20 Negro League seasons.
Wow. That's amazing. Looks like we got a first caller coming up from New Jersey. Let's bring him on. It looks like Lou, maybe. Lou, how are you? Part of the American Sports History Podcast.
Thank you, Mark.
With Peter Ray and myself. How are you?
All right. Did you say it was 1869 you're dating all the way back to?
Yes.
Wow, that's a thrilling history. I forgot they were around that long. I thought they only came around in the 1900s.
Oh, no, 19th century baseball, that's the, kind of the ignored era.
I mean the Indians itself. Not. I know baseball dates back to the 1800s, but I thought Cleveland didn't come in until after the 20th century began.
No, the Cleveland Indians baseball franchise in the American League did, and then we had a National League team in the late 1800s. Different names, and the last one was the Spiders.
Yeah.
The Cleveland Spiders, who were MLB champions in 1895, led by Cy Young. The Cy Young Award was named after.
Mhm.
Wow.
So yeah, 19th century baseball. It's fun.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah. Keep going.
Because there were only a few teams back then. The Cubs, the Cardinals, the Phillies. All the old-timers there. And not as insulting, but it wasn't much of a league back then. Only the last 55 years has the league exploded to now 30 teams.
Well, that's an interesting point, because for a long time it was just 16 teams and 8 in the American League, 8 in the National League, and if you finish in first, you go to the World Series.
Right.
Now it's like you got to go through how many rounds to get to the World Series?
3, too long.
Yeah, right. It was just the National League in the 19th century.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
the
bring
senior
up an
circuit.
Point, guys. Right. Here's an interesting point. I know with the coronavirus going on, we should have Lenny here in a minute. But my whole take on the Major League Baseball season, guys, it's kind of bizarre. I've heard Arizona maybe hosting all these things. Then I've heard of maybe Florida and Arizona doing it. My take might not be the best of a lot of people's take. I just feel like if this thing can't have fans involved in it or anything, I'd shut this thing down until they come up with a vaccine, bring it back next year. Peter, your thoughts first. I'll give it then over to Lou.
Yeah, I think it'll be, watching games without fans. That's kind of, that would be, they can go ahead and do it, and whatever they decide is fine, but I can see your point, that it's kind of, I think a lot of the guys also feel like, they would be uneasy if they had to be separated from their families by being just out in Arizona. So I can see you got a good point. Just shut it down, wait till next year. But that'd be tough too. Whatever they do is going to be tough.
Right. Lou,
Yeah.
any talk on that? As far
Well,
as what's going on here? Because you can, first of all, you can have a guy, maybe a superstar in New York, Giancarlo Stanton, and whether he's married or not, his girlfriend, significant other, gets sick 3,000 miles away. He's going to basically say to hell with this. I don't care if we're 2 games ahead of the Red Sox here with a week to go. I need to be with the family, and this could be a domino effect. Any thoughts on that?
Either way, it's a tough decision. You got one part, like you said, you're going to be away from your family for 4 months, assuming it's going to be, all in Arizona or in Florida, or B, you want to play though. I think the fans are, the players are eager to play, even means playing without fans. Because, some are saying we need sports in America right now to help us, come up with an escape. So there are no easy answers. I mean, but again, playing without fans is just like, like you're playing a scrimmage. It doesn't feel like a real game.
Right. Yeah, no roar of the crowd, which is a big part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Home field and everything is pretty much out the window, too, Peter. I mean, especially if you're the Dodgers, and then if you don't play, wow, if the Astros sign stealing and the Red Sox sign stealing didn't stop you, coronavirus just wiped you out. You're looking at Clayton Kershaw and some of these guys, they're losing a year. I mean, it's tough to pick up that year you lose, especially the Dodgers.
Yeah.
It's tough, real tough.
Mm-hmm.
Lou, thank you very much for the call out there in New Jersey. We got to get going now, and we appreciate your time and effort.
My pleasure, Mark. Thank you.
Thank you, my good friend. And as it goes, boy, I'll tell you something just got crazy here. Here comes a good friend of mine, Lenny Randall. Lenny, you turned the San Francisco show this past Thursday on its ear, and now you're part of the American Sports History show out of Cleveland with Peter Ray. Peter, say hi to Lenny.
Oh, hi, Mr. Randall. It's a real honor. Wow, it's really something talking with you.
Peter, drop and give me 40 for drinking all the beer, 10-cent beer night.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Randall, you played on the last Washington Senators team and the first Texas Rangers team. You had Ted Williams and Billy Martin among your managers, and then this wonderful video of you taking the inside pitch from Bob Johnson and laying down a real nice bunt, so he's got to come over and field it, and you lay him out. And then John Ellis comes over and tackles you. And 5 days later, you got the riot in Cleveland. And John Ellis became your teammate later on. So that was really something. Do you have any thoughts on all of that, any of that?
All of the above. First of all, Bob Johnson was not the pitcher. When sports writers don't know a name, it's like Joe Doe, Bob Smith, and Mary Smith. It was Milt Wilcox. It was Milt Wilcox.
Milt Wilcox. Okay, good. Thanks for the clarification. Good. Okay.
John Ellis was like Doc Ellis's cousin. That's another story. I'll give you that later.
Doc. Okay. Funny. Milt Wilcox.
We played on the Texas Rangers, and we played for Billy Martin. Billy Martin was like our Patton or our general. He was like the current. Who was the most popular leader that you could think of? Patton.
Right.
Well, I think Eisenhower. Anyway, he was our guy. So when Billy said, "You play for me, you don't play up against each other," everybody knew that played with Billy Martin. It was like a military team. And with the guys that we had and the players' mentality, Dave Gernert and Jim Pearsall and all his coaches, Jackie Moore, we took a military approach to playing. So when John became a teammate, John was like, "Bro, we got to forget about all that what happened in the past. We got to take this hill. We got to take this." So we had to take the hill mentality. So we grew up together. I was 3 months in AAA. So I knew some of those guys from the American Association. We didn't like each other either. It wasn't like a love-hate like. It was just when you cross a line, nobody's your friend. If that was my brother at first base, his name was Herman Ellis, he would have taken me out. If my brother was throwing at me 3 times at the head, I would have charged him out on my brother. It's just the way it is. There's no friendship when a person's trying to kill you.
Well, what's great though is you didn't charge them out. You laid down a bunt, which was so that was, and then you took them out running to first. So it was really wonderful.
Well, what I was just gonna steal second, steal third, and then go home. But he got in the way. As you see, I'm a Frank Kush football guy. John Ellis is a football guy. So our football instincts come out. If somebody try to tackle you or come approach you, we called it back in the day. Dion knows this. Hall of Famers know this. Called a bump and run. So you bump the guy, you make a spin. I just kept on running. That's just part of our life. I've been rehearsing that since 18. So when you do that, I thought play as usual, nothing else. Try to tag me, you don't. Boom, you drop the ball, you keep running. When Ellis tackled me, I was like, oh, surprise blitz. It was a surprise blitz. So the first base coach and Billy Martin were the first ones to get Ellis and Jim Bibby and Fergie Jenkins and Alex Johnson, and I'm still trying to touch first base. So all of a sudden, I guess they saw what was coming. I didn't know. I'm just running the first to go to second. But when John tackled me, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a party.
Okay. Well, that was some year. Billy Martin coming to Texas. You guys had 74 Rangers were really great. That was
one of the best teams ever. We should have won the World Series, beat the Oakland A's. We intimidated Reggie and Fingers and Sal Bando and Billy North and Monday. Those are all teammates of mine in Arizona State. We intimidated them because Billy already had 2 strikes and 1.5 million fans for him by himself. So we go, well, score is 1-0. Walking on the field, score is 1-0.
Right. So you were sorry to see Billy leave.
We hated that Billy left. We didn't want him to leave. Management didn't like his authoritative personality. He was a winner, and he was like, how do you hire a guy 5 times Steinbrenner, win 90 games, he's not in the Hall of Fame, with 45 Hall of Famers and 9 World Series appearances, 91. How do you do that? 91 wins a season. How do you not be in the Hall of Fame?
Billy Martin.
Yeah, so it should be automatic. He won more than half the managers in the major league in the Hall of Fame, including Russo and Lasorda, but I don't want to go there because it's controversy. And I wish his son, Billy Martin Jr., could hear that we need to get him in Cooperstown 2021.
Well, I'm in full agreement. I mean, when the whole thing with him and Reggie and George Steinbrenner was going on, and I enjoyed that and as a fan. And then when Billy Martin died, I was heartbroken because I thought that's the end. It's the end of all that drama that was never ending.
Oh, people don't realize we're not playing golf. We're playing baseball. Baseball's like hockey. We got sticks. we hit a puck or a ball, and then we run and we draw. And if you don't, then you're soft. So that's the kind of mentality that Ted Williams was an airline pilot. He said, Lenny, if somebody knocks you down to brush your back, you have to tell them where you live or you go to the mountain and get them. If you don't, it's a $500 to $5,000 fine. He's a colonel. He's a pilot. He's a war hero. He's a Korean delegate. What do you do? Go, no, coach, I can't do it today. I got a bad hamstring. No. He said run through a wall. We run through a wall. So I had those kind of managers and personalities around me. Willie Mays, a coach. Maury Wills, a coach. These were aggressive guys. We weren't out there to try to get a hole in one. We were playing baseball like hockey.
And you played with Billy with the Yankees in '79.
Phenomenal guy. I was with me and Bill Madlock got traded together from Pittsburgh and San Francisco to the Yankees. And Billy was like, you want to play somewhere? I go, yeah. I was ready to go to Europe, play in Italy. He goes, no, come on. I was thinking about playing football again. He goes, no, come on back. I want you to train my son. He's going to be a football player, Billy Martin Jr. He's going to do down and out. He's going to be a wide receiver. I can't get Danny White, so I got you.
Now, Mr. Randall, you've been living in Italy since 1983. Is that right?
Phenomenal, bellissimo paese, incredible, gente, bella paese. The people there are fabulous.
Where in Italy? I wish I could speak Italian. Where in Italy do you live?
You can speak Italian. Okay, say spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Say tagliatelle.
Okay.
Say ciao.
That's amazing that you've been over there so long, and it's wonderful. It's a big world, and you went there and you liked it and you stayed. I mean, that's just. Do you want to talk about your years in Italy?
Italy is like people don't realize that when you play on an Olympic team, you get to travel 3 or 4, 31 countries. You find a place that's your home of people you like. I don't care if it's Dominican, Puerto Rico, Spain. When you travel a lot, you begin to like Japan. People cling to you. I see a lot of NBA players. And Kobe Bryant is another one of my buddies that used to go over to Italy a lot with his dad, Joe.
Right.
My nephew, Ty Edney. we lived over there 4 years, 9 years together and doing stuff. And people, we don't have to give publicity. We do it because we love the treatment and the loyalty and the food, 5-course meals, and the fun. Every day is a party. Viva loca. It's crazy.
Right. Okay.
and then Peter, if you were Peter Pan and somebody told you to go fly to Italy and live there, and at 12 o'clock to 5 you take a nap every day and watch the Pope soccer or eat a 5-course meal or make babies, what would you do?
I might consider it.
If somebody said the trip was $300 round trip, would you go?
Sure.
Now, if somebody had an apartment on the Mediterranean Sea or a house, like, I don't know, San Diego on the water, would you leave for $500 a month?
Would I like to live in a place like that? Sure. Sure.
Okay. So what's not? I didn't even mention baseball. What's not alike? Right.
Well, a lot of guys are just sort of intimidated by. I lived in the Philippines for 20 years, so I was open to that also, and it's especially when the people are friendly. It's nice. It makes all the difference.
Now, not that I'm asking, but you might have kids or family over there. Let me ask you: do you miss it?
I do. Sure.
And you were like 30s, 40s? What age? 20s?
I'm 59 now. I went over when I was 30.
So can you imagine having a flashback reunion?
Sure. I left my heart in the Philippines.
You would not return. You would not return.
Now, you're... go ahead. I'm sorry.
I can see you now on a villa on the water eating pineapple and having sushi, okay?
Right, okay. I want to bring up another play with the Mariners in '81 when you blew the ball foul, and then you said after the game there was a no-blow rule. That was playing for Seattle. You want to talk about that a little bit?
I was playing billy ball. I was just trying to win a game, whatever it means. So I didn't think. I just reacted. Everything we do is instinctive. We don't have a lot of time to think about 100-mile-an-hour pitch, fastball to hit, left field, right field, run it. So instinctively, when you played since you were 6 years old out of the womb, you think of things to do to why to win. If the ball, bunt over third, slap a ball past the pitcher's mound at second, make a double, a single. You ever remember how Pete Rose turned the bases? I was taught to turn the bases like him and Maury Wills. Every hit, every hit is a double. Every double is a triple. So we just did aggressively. So when the ball was on a swing 3-2 bunt, I'm thinking do something to win the game. I'm not thinking of nothing else. Okay, I got it. And Larry Anderson, you don't know what his breath's like. He's yelling at me, Lenny, do something, you son of do something, Lenny, do something. He's a pitcher. My ERA. We got Willie Wilson at third, and Amos is a 3.5 to first, and that was his 1,999 hit. So I had to do something. I yelled the ball off the field. I said, go foul, go foul, go foul, go foul. Ball went off the field. I went right to my position. Julio Cruz go, dude, look at the scoreboard. Do you know what you did? I go, no, I'm in the zone. What do you mean? Rick Arbor said, look, bro, you blew the – no, I did not touch the ball. I did not touch the ball. Where's Johnny Cochran? Where's George Judy? I need a lawyer.
Was there a rule about what you did?
I had no idea that I just did it. I didn't realize it was a big deal. I thought game go on, go back to hit, three two count. Three two count. So all of a sudden, George Brett is calling me names. John Mayberry is calling me names. Amos Otis telling me about words I never heard of.
Did the play stand? Did they put the runner on first, or what happened?
Well, it was a 2,000 hit. Do what you do. Would you give a guy a hit, or would you let the guy go back and swing the bat?
So he continued his at bat.
He got the hit because it was a 2,000 hit. If it was his 1,500 hit, maybe they wouldn't have done it. But it was like a big deal to get 2,000 hits.
So did he get his hit after swinging again?
They gave him the hit. We blew the game.
Oh, okay. Well, you played with a lot. You played. What was it like being on the last Washington Senators team?
It was phenomenal because we weren't sure that all the fans would let us live that last day when Frank Howard hit a home run. We thought this was our last day on earth. They took the bases, the dugout, the wall. They took everything. They took dirt, grass. They took 400 seats, ripped them out of the stadium. The RFK was like the choir section was all gone. All the chairs were gone. Then they start coming onto the field. Like 40,000 people stormed the field. It was like a storm, like a tornado, and we were trying to get to the dugout, get to the field. We were celebrating Frank hitting the home run. It was wonderful. Can we live? Are you going to beat it? It's not our fault. It's the owners sold the team. We had nothing to do with it. We just brought up winning game. You
remember the trouble between Ted Williams and Denny Mclean on the 71 Senators, that team?
Our arbitrator was Dick Nixon. Richard Nixon used to come to all the games. Oh, you guys, you got to get along. Come on now. We got a lot of White House correspondents out here. And Ted and Dick were really, just going to call him Disco Dick, Tricky Dick, because he was our scorekeeper. He's come to all the games. So he says, we got Denny for a reason. He was part of what was going on in the development of our team. We're trying to win. So he made that trade with L.A. Maddox, Elrod, Brinkman. That was a big trade. L.A. Maddox, it was a big deal. And Ted and Denny didn't get along well because Denny used to land his helicopter in center field every other day at practice. Helicopter during batting practice. Who's this guy? It's Denny Mclean. Ted would want to go get a gun, an AK-47, and shoot the helicopter down. So they had a challenge one day. He says, listen, if you don't bring that thing in here no more, I want you on the mound, and I think I can hit you right now with my, I won't say it because we're on national TV, I can hit you with that. And you get on the mound right now, and I'll hit you with my jacket on. Elliott, go to center field. Toby Harrell, go to right. Sunberg, go to shortstop. I'm going to tell you where I'm going to hit. I beat the freaking shit. I'm Ted freaking Williams.
Well, how did you handle that conflict? Did you take sides between Ted Williams and Denny Mclean?
Ted Williams challenged him. He made him go change his clothes, put on his uniform. Mike Epstein goes, I got $1,000 on it. I got $1,000 that Ted's going to take him to. The other players, Sunberg and Kenny Suarez, I got 2,000. Says he won't hit him. And we were at the batting cage, and it was like a big deal. And Ted would call his shot. He brushed him back first pitch under the chin, and he goes, Ted, you played in the era. Yeah, you were a great 400 hitter, but you played in the era when the gloves had no strings. Oh.
So it was Denny Mclean pitching to Ted Williams.
Yeah, he threw a brush back to first pitch. Second pitch, Ted spit. Okay, guys, watch this. Right center field. Boom, shot. Okay, next pitch. Left center field, guys, watch this. Boom. Denny brushed him back again. He says, do you know I was in the war? I dodged freaking bullets. He goes, I could spit a better pitcher than you. I know everything you throw, and that's why if you listen to me, I could make you another 30-game winner. He goes, oh, yeah, you play with T. No, just get in the freaking box. He got back in the box. He goes, guys, I beat the ship. I can go to left field when I want, center field when I want. I'm 46 years old. I can hit the right field in the stand. What do you want me to hit it? Toby Harrell, Ted, we're just amazed that you still have your jacket on.
So Ted Williams was going deep on Mclean.
Took him like a stepchild. He hit him like a tennis player, like Federer.
Well, it's too bad Denny Mclean wouldn't take his advice.
Well, he told him what he was doing. When he cupped his fingers together, it was showing his fastball. When he split his fingers, he showed his curve. When he had his right middle index finger on underneath the ball, it was slider. And he goes, you could pitch smarter, not harder, because you don't have what you used to have. And he goes, I'm Denny Mclean. I still got what I got. Just get in the box. And he goes, this is why there was a big senior players that are 10 or more years were against the younger guys like myself, Dave Nelson and Toby Harrah coming up, and Sundberg and Hargrove. I mean, if Jim Mason, we were like in awe of Ted, and we're going, why is this guy against the manager? We couldn't figure that out. This guy's the greatest hitter in the world. He's trying to help the whole pitching staff. But he didn't listen. Bosman listened. Limbad listened. Stanhouse listened. Pete Groberg listened. There were some guys that Jim Schellenbach listened. Jerry Janansky. There were some pitchers that go, well, Ted knows what he's talking about. Denny, we love you, bro, but we're going to listen to Ted. He's writing a check.
Do you want to talk a little bit about your time with the Mets, 77, 78? Because, they'd had won the World Series in 69 and played in 73, and you played with a lot of these guys who'd been famous in the World Series. You want to talk about your 2 years with the Mets?
Well, the Mets were amazing because my teammates, Craig Swan, we were the 69 World Series champions in college at Arizona State University. So by winning there, we had Duffy, who was a catcher for, guess who? Nolan Ryan and Jim Gentry. Jim Gentry went to Arizona State. So the Arizona State connection was already there with the Mets in 69. I had met Swoboda. I had met a lot of the guys in spring training because they would work out at Arizona State University. We've met all the Willie Mays, McCovey, Ted Williams flew in. We met half of the East Coast guys who was snowing, and they'd come to Arizona. So playing for the Mets, when we got there later, Swan got drafted by the Mets. I had played a couple of years, maybe 3 or 4, before I came to the Mets because of Billy Martin and Joe Torre connection. Joe Torre goes, get that guy. And Willie Mays said, shut up, I'll buy you a Cadillac, and if you don't talk, if you play like me, then I'll buy you a house. I didn't say no.
Oh, boy. It was sad that last year was the 50th anniversary of the 69 Mets, and Tom Seaver couldn't make it because he's just not well enough. And I thought, oh, what a shame. Tom, terrific,
Yeah, we flew in John Stearns. We did have a documentary piece we did in San Diego, and we knew he couldn't, had some problems, and I had Ed Kranepool as well. And those are the first 2 guys to greet me. Tom Seaver gave me he says, Lenny, I'm a Trojan, you're an SC guy. He was an SC guy and Arizona State guy. We had a rivalry. He says, you and Kingman, now I'm giving you this cup at third because you're going to play third. You're going to need a real large cup. You're going to have every ball hit to you. The hell with Harrelson. So I still have his cup. So he goes, and you got to tell Swanee to listen to me. Forget Bobby Winkle. This is big league stuff we're doing now. So tell him to listen to Matlack, Kuzman, and Lockwood. And Swanee finally broke down and goes, okay, because he was a little stubborn, So all of a sudden, his game elevated, and he became a great pitcher. We knew Seaver was sick. We knew he had Alzheimer's and dementia. So we took a group up there, and we bought some of his wine. On his wine label, it's called George. He doesn't use his name. He uses the name George on his labels. And he has one of the best vineyards on the planet. And now he used to do, fantasy camps. He'd have people come to his house, and now he can't do any of that anymore. He doesn't want to have the image of not being seen like he was as a great person.
Right.
It's embarrassing. So I went to Kranepool and said, Craney, I got an interview. I'll send it to you. So I said, I want to send you and Seaver to Italy to find your youth. You guys got to eat like me, and then you'll be 19 forever.
Okay. Do you want to talk about your year with the Cubs in 1980?
Oh, my God. I had the greetings of Ernie Banks, which was phenomenal, Buckner, and Kingman again, because Kingman and I went back all the way to college era. And then I had the privilege of having Billy Williams as a hitting coach. And I said, if anybody's going to listen to this guy, because they had roots from the Negro League to Major League Baseball connections. That first thing they did was, Lenny, don't leave Chicago. You're going to love it more than Mike Ditka. And I didn't know what they meant by that. It says we're going to play all day games. There'll be no night games. You watch the 6 o'clock news. But the first thing you got to do is go put your money in a Ravenwood Bank and buy a condo.
Okay.
I said, but I want to talk about hitting. Nah, we're going to go spend your money. Forget baseball. We're going to get you a condo. You need to get in real estate.
Okay. Well, boy, it looks like we're out of time, Mr. Randall. Thank you so much. We'll hope we can talk again. Yeah, God bless you, and wow, just wonderful, and really something. Keep up the good work you're doing over there in Italy promoting baseball. So really appreciate you coming.
We just got 2 girls scholarships to San Diego on the softball team. I'm training the girls world champion European Italian softball girls team. And they were on their way to Japan, and 2 of the players got scholarships to California. And 4 of the players I'm training privately to be either major league players or go in the music industry because they're multi-talented.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. God bless you, Mr. Randall. Keep up the good work. We'll talk again. Looks like we're going to have Warren Brewstar of the Philadelphia Phillies next week on the Saucy Sports Line, American History with Peter J. Ray. Mark Mancini, I'll turn it over to you.
Well, I'll tell you, what a show, and I'm so blessed. Good friend of mine, Lenny Randall. And Lenny, you turn the San Francisco show on its ear. You come into the Cleveland, you turn that on its ear. Just a blessing to have you in here, my good friend. And Peter Ray, what a way to host this thing. And, yeah, we'll be back on next week. And at the top of the next hour, the Power of Pittsburgh podcast, the Rust Belt continues here on Tuesday. Chris Booth will be talking Pirates and Steelers. So at the top of the next hour, so blessed to have you guys. And God bless, and we'll talk to you soon.
Right, very good.